to my channel. In this video that nobody's watching right now, we're going to talk about the YouTubers getting sued. Now, if you're unaware of what happened recently, I'm going to react to a couple of videos because this is what I want to do to get this party started, because this is going to be a longer live stream. I'm going to have a couple drinks. I'm recovering from my surgery, trying to get back into YouTube live stream shape after almost a month of, being down. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Nobody's watching, so it doesn't matter. Oh, all right. Left for a second to turn on the AC and somebody's here to talk to. Sweet. All right. So, you guys, obviously, if you're watching my channel, you already know what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about this whole lawsuit thing with these YouTubers. Now, if there's one thing that baffled my mind during the run-up to the insane clown market that was going on, was the crap that a lot of these YouTubers were recommending, right? I could not understand how these guys could not see the writing on the wall that they were going to get sued. And I'm talking about a lot of these people. If you don't think there's lawsuits that are going to be coming in for stock pushers, the likes of Jeremy LeFevre, I mean, he's getting sued with this whole FTX thing. But if you don't think there's going to be additional lawsuits coming in on these guys, well, I mean, I've got a bridge over the Sahara Desert to sell you, because I'm telling you right now, and I've said it on my channel numerous times over the years, once the market corrects, and there will be a correction. When is there going to be a correction? No one knows. Look at what's happening with the banking sector now that the Fed has raised interest rates. You're already seeing some gum getting thrown into the machine. And if the Fed raises interest rates like they said they're going to, more shit is going to break in the finance world. These companies that were nothing berries, these companies like, tattooed truckers, unwashed, sweaty, putrescent, syphilitic, gonorrhea, herpes, call girl, lot lizard taint. If you don't think that this company is going to implode now that it has higher borrowing costs, I mean, the only reason this piece of crap managed to stay in business as long as it did, it's negative operating income. And it's been that way the whole, well, all right. But I mean, if you don't think they have revenue, it's increasing, but I mean, it's negative cash flows. It's been negative this whole time. And it's getting worse. If you don't think this company is going to implode, and I mean, we don't even need to sit here and do extensive work on the financial statement to see. All you need to do is go, all right, what does this company sell? Garbage vegan food that is just so bad, even a hobo would throw it. A starving hobo would throw this back in your face. Sorry, I'm boomering again. Let me share that with the screen. I do that. Oh, homie, they're already. I guarantee you right now that Kevin, all of these guys, they've deleted a lot of videos in the past. I'm telling you right now, if they have any brain, they're deleting videos like crazy. Did I show you guys this the other day? Financial education, financial fortress. It's gone. Look, all right, if we come over here, Where's all his testimonials? It's gone. See, now Jeremy's done this once before. So when I first started on YouTube and I was okay, so how I found out, I didn't even know YouTube finance was a thing, really, right? And then I saw this dude named Ryan Scribner, right? And Ryan Scribner was teaching people about finance. And I'm watching him teach people about finance. And I go, this dude seems like, he read maybe one book on finance and read the little stuff here and there and came on to share just enough information to make people. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, man, but it's just not a large market. That's the problem. It's how much the vegans are, what, 1% of the population, if that, or vegetarian, however you want to look at it. Plus the product is crap. Once interest rates go up, yeah. And I mean, you're even saying they're trash, but okay. So I started watching this guy, Ryan Scribner, and I was watching this dork and I was like, oh, this guy's got a YouTube following. Maybe I could start teaching some people like how to actually invest and then, grow a channel. Well, my channel never grew, but it did get me into more people. Niche market. Yeah. That's the problem with that. That's why I don't understand. And I mean, to be truthfully honest with you, if Jeremy had picked up Tattooed, a little niche company in the vegan vegetarian space for the right, price to free cash flow or what other metrics he uses, and it was a good investment, I wouldn't be criticizing him for buying vegan. But the problem is, it's just a piece of crap. Okay, so Jeremy had a different channel before. He had a different thing up. And how I knew this guy was a scumbag was, number one, he didn't know what he was talking about. Number two, he had on there that a portion of whatever he makes on YouTube off of people paying him to learn to invest is donated to St. Jude. Now, you have to be an unbelievable scumbag to go on the internet and claim that you're donating when I know you're not donating. Do you guys honestly think Jeremy LeFevre was donating any amount of money to St. Jude's? Okay. No. I mean, we all know it. So that's how I got into these guys. But the whole time this was going on, I didn't really think of it in terms of crypto at the time. I thought of it in terms of, Jesus Christ, my room is just baking up right now. But I thought of it in terms of these stocks that people are putting these amateur people into, right? And personally, I can't prove it. I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure Jeremy, Meet Kevin, a lot of these YouTubers were actually getting paid by these smaller companies to shill their products, to shill the stock. Why do I think that? Because even the tiny channel that I have had people reach out with speculative crypto stuff and even stock stuff. I forget what it was, but there was somebody that offered me like 50 or $100 on my channel to, and I mean, taking consideration, I had like 800 subs, which it was bizarre to me. I think they just send it out to everybody and see who will take it. But yeah, Jeremy saves children. But I got offers to push some of these speculative penny stocks. Okay. I think if you just had a channel, they make you an offer because they don't, hey, if you make a viral video, it was worth the 50 or the $100. I never even acknowledged any of those products. Number one, it's because I knew there would be legal recourse down the line. Number two, I have actual scruples. I'm not willing to sell out. I'm just going to tell you guys that right now. From here till the end of time, whether my channel takes off or it doesn't. I will not push a product I don't personally believe in if it's offered to me. Sorry, I'm just not doing it. That's just, I take other people's money too serious. And if my fate is my channel never takes off and I just do this for fun, that's fine. You know, I'm fine. I can stop working tomorrow, do my YouTube channel. I'm not going to live an extravagant life, but, you know, I'm not going to be driving a Ferrari. But to be honest with you, I don't really have a desire to ever even own a Ferrari. I think Ferraris are stupid. To be honest with you, I would rather drive a pickup truck than a Ferrari. Laugh all you want if you're watching this. Call me a loser. I just think a lot of supercars are stupid. But this goes to show you, if you're new to my channel and you're like, who is this bald loser with 1,100 subs or however many subs I have? I stopped checking it. I don't really give a shit anymore because YouTube is doing this thing. I'll explain that later. But this goes to show you how monumentally stupid these YouTubers are. Even if for just self-preservation, meet Kevin, Tom Nash, well, Jeremy's a moron. We know that. Andre Deek, he's a moron. But if I have 5 people watching my channel. I don't know what more I can do. You know, I've been talking about this for 2 years. But if you're sitting there and you're new on this channel, before you tune out, you go, oh, I saw these guys. Think about how unscrupulous these losers are. These losers, yes, I'm calling them losers for this reason. None of them could make money outside of grifting on YouTube. See, YouTube has this weird inversion that you're a successful YouTuber, you're a winner, whereas the working man is a loser. It's actually the opposite. These people are scumbag grifters. I don't know what more it's going to take for the people on YouTube to actually realize what a bunch of chump clowns these guys are. So, I mean, let's watch CoffeeZilla's. We'll watch a little bit of CoffeeZilla and his take on it, which will probably get me demonetized or whatever, but I'm already demonetized. So the joke's on CoffeeZilla.
A new global alliance is rising, but it is not a union between countries. It is an alliance between governments and corporations, and it is rapidly reshaping our world.
Yeah, Epoch, it's called fascism. Fascism is the merger of corporations with the government.
Graham Stephan, Andre Jick, Minority Mindset, Brian Jung, Financial Education, Jeremy, Tom Nash, and Big Boy Crypto are all defendants in this lawsuit. But before we get into it, I have to do something I never thought I would do on this channel. I have to defend a certain person on that list, a guy I have been very critical of on this show. I'm talking about BitBoy Crypto. I know, I can't believe it either. What many people don't.
I think I know where he's going with this. BitBoy Crypto lost all of his money. And I think he's going, this guy was basically just a useful idiot.
No, is that he turned against them. And get this, months before the collapse, he started warning people about FTX.
They're going to be crossing out FTT and Solana. These are going to be going out of the portfolios. These coins are dead to me. Sam Bankman Fried, you're dead to me. Brett Harrison, you are dead to me.
This is probably actually going to save this guy in the end. If they can put up videos where he goes, listen, man, when I realized it was a scam, and here's the problem with this lawsuit, I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm glad these guys are getting sued. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how this works, but here's my hypothesis on this whole thing. It's going to be really difficult to prove that these YouTubers did this with malice and it wasn't just idiocy. So, you know, that's my take on it.
The FTX, you are dead to me. You are despicable, and I'm disgusted by you in every way, shape, or form. Everybody's going to be on that
Good for you, man. Good for you. Even though you're an idiot for pushing crypto in the first place. If there were only a group of people on YouTube that were telling you not to buy crypto. Oh, they were. There's my group of friends. There's other people that I probably don't know about. I mean, Sven Carlin, I'm sure he said something, even though I'm not the biggest fan of him anymore, even though I don't really like them. I'm pretty sure, everything Money has spoken out about it. And, I said to people, I said, you're going to play crypto and you know how to play it, but keep it to 5% of your portfolio. Other than that, because it's pure gambling, but there's nothing wrong with gambling if you're doing it for fun. No, dude, it is, man. Yeah. But boy, looks, and here's the thing. Like I said, I think that's going to actually save him in court because he's going to be able to go, look, man, when I caught on to the scam, I jumped out. I mean, I never thought to even bring up FTX because I actually thought that everybody knew crypto was a scam. So I really didn't talk about it. That's my bad assumption.
Trap. Oh my God. He said that way back in September. He said he's disgusted by Sam Bankman Fried. This is BitBoy Crypto, guys. He's the Jim Cramer of crypto, and yet somehow he made one of the greatest blind call-outs of all time. And it's so remarkable that I actually want to give you yet another clip of him doing this because I simply couldn't believe it when I saw it.
They're playing games with people's lives. That's not right. Time to expose FTX and SBF what they really are.
What can I say? That video is a month before FTX collapsed. And to be clear, I am not claiming that BitBoy is some oracle. I think it was luck. But understand that he's one of the most widely ridiculed crypto influencers. Everyone has dumped on this guy for years for bad calls. But here we are watching him hit FTX.
I didn't even know who BitBoy was till I learned he went broke because, again, I'm not in the crypto sphere. I said it from the beginning. I'll say it again. Crypto's hot garbage. It's nothing more than speculation. You want to speculate, it's fine. Go into it with your eyes wide open. Even Tattooed Chef, you could speculate on this stock and you might be able to make money if you do it in the right way. I don't think you can do that now with this garbage. But, I mean, you could have done it here or here. If you had really been paying attention, the Fed's lowering interest rates, and you're like, I'm going to throw a speculative bet in here, somewhere over here. That's amazing. That's so funny. I hope LeFave is crying.
The biggest con, more correct than even the most beloved financial influencers. So it just doesn't make sense for him to be in this lawsuit. And besides, you're not supposed to sue BitBoy Crypto anyways. He sues you when you make fun of him. All right, sorry, I'm trying to defend him here, but I'm not used to this strange turn of events where the villain has become the hero. But either way, with that out of the way, I want to talk about the rest of this lawsuit. Basically, the rest of these influencers are accused of promoting FTX and getting paid for it. It also accuses them of not conducting adequate, if any, due diligence.
See, this is going to be a problem. Again, if there's a lawyer, if I knew a lawyer, I'd have him on to talk about it. But from my, just using common sense, here's the thing. Define due diligence. What does that mean? If I walk up to 10, 20, 30 people in the street and I say, can you define for me what due diligence is on the stock market or in any investment? You're going to get 30 different answers. If you asked me and Chris, right? If you asked us both to go over here and come up with a probable buy point on Google, right? Come up with a price. Well, you guys on my channel, you already know what I'm going to tell you, right? You already know where I'm going to go. I'm going to come over here and say, well, this is a high quality company. I have some suspicion that it has total government backing. So the odds of it going out of business are extremely low. We come over here. we look at the cash and equivalents. I mean, Jesus. We come down here. We look through everything. You don't even really need to do much looking at it, right? But now you come in and you go, all right, let's do our due diligence. What price should you buy it at? Well, I'm going to tell you, it depends on your personal needs. I don't really need this stock. Okay. I'm primarily an index fund investor. It's already in my top 10 in my holdings. I don't really need to see the need to concentrate unless I can get this for a ridiculous cheap price. So I'm going to tell you, I want it at less than 12 times cash flow, whatever that number is. Chris might come up with an entirely different number. He might say, well, it's $80 a buy point for me. Are either one of us wrong? No. I mean, it's just our opinions. So this is where I think you're going to get in trouble with this lawsuit.
Played a major role in the FTX disaster, who hyped the deceptive FTX platform for undisclosed payments. Now, look, none of this is really surprising. We talked about this back in November, and it all feels inevitable. The whole reason FTX was so popular is because of the amount of money they dumped into these advertising campaigns. Everyone I know was offered one of these deals. Either way, it's pretty logical to see that without people willing to take the money and sell FTX, it just couldn't have hurt as many people.
I mean, you're right. But again, you have to actually prove that they knew that it was fundamentally worthless. You see, this is the thing. They can go into court. They can go into court and just claim to be idiots. Now, whether that's going to get them out of the lawsuit or not, I have no idea. I mean, I honestly, even after all of this, don't think any of these, well, I'll elaborate a little bit in a second. I don't think this lawsuit is going to put any of these guys into the territory of having to sell their pussy down at the truck stop. I just don't believe it's going to happen. Now, I'll tell you what I do believe. We've watched enough of CoffeeZilla. I'm a fan. I don't really watch that many of his videos. He comes to you live from his, $10 million studio. I come to you live from my, $50 studio. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that. Remind me in a minute. I want to make some points on what I think is going to happen to some of these YouTubers and the whole YouTube financial space. And it's a hypothesis that I had for a while, and I'm actually glad that I think it's going to start playing out. But my problem with CVS, I think you can make a nice little doubling of your money turnaround if you want to play it, because I think it will. We'll talk about it real quick. Here's what I'm going to say. I think you got room to spring up on CVS, collect yourself a nice little fat dividend. I don't know if I buy that in a year, but I think you got room here. I do think you have a room to get a 40 to 60% return on this somewhere in there. Am I buying it? No, but I think there's money to be made. But am I that impressed overall with owning CVS? No. But I do think it's a safe little turnaround here because I think it's highly unlikely. Yeah, it's highly, highly unlikely in a quick look that anything is going to, yeah, I mean, you're trading almost at shareholder equity, to be honest with you. You're within 1.5 of shareholder equity. That's a good deal. I mean, if you should be down here, but I mean, if you want to buy it, you ain't going to get too many arguments from me. But let's get to my main point for what I think the future is for a lot of these guys. I don't think the future is too good. A lot of people, they get jealous. But I mean, let's look at what Andre Jeeks, he has 2.2 million subs, right? He's getting 63,000 views. Okay. This dude is entirely dependent on this market. And I don't think this guy really understands finance. I mean, didn't he buy a variable rate mortgage? I don't know how much Andre Jeek is. Interesting part of the case is that they're calling them unregistered securities. Yeah, I mean, I don't even understand how you can call them securities because, again, I mean, they're nothing. Okay, so a lot of these guys, I think they got used to the YouTuber lifestyle. Maybe not Andre Jeek. This dude is cookie cutter enough and soulless enough that he might stick around for a while, but there is a problem with his shtick. The problem with his shtick is this dork wearing bronzer?
I'm not selling hot dogs. I invest in a fund that advances innovations like robotics.
Yes. Cash flow.
You're broke.
Wait.
Possible to quit your job and retire on $1 million with today's economy and today's inflation.
Dude, oh my God. He is looking stressed and ragged. I mean, you could freeze frame on me and make the same points. I don't know. I don't think I look anywhere near as stressed as that dude does. Wearing my sunglasses just because I think it's silly. But oh my God, maybe if I had a better camera, it would reflect. This dude looks like he's wearing makeup. It's true. It's now come true. YouTube is totally fake. It has become what it had set out to destroy. It is corporatized. Like, okay. Okay. What is the difference between this dude and Joe Scarborough now? How much longer before you think this dude starts getting plastic surgery? He looks bloated, stressed out. I bet he's drinking in the background. Like, I bet you behind the scenes, this dude is drinking.
Report on how I plan to do this using my dividend income strategy. This video
Look at him with his raccoon eyes.
Market Watch, where an author submitted a letter asking about their financial situation.
That variable rate mortgage starting to catch up with you, buddy, now that you don't have quite as much grift money to go around. He spent all his money on stupid crap. No wonder he's stressed out. Didn't he buy a Spider-Man NFT or something, or a Charizard for like $1 million that's probably not worth the toilet paper that I just wiped my behind with? Even bought NFTs that you couldn't sell for cash because they were copyrighted. Yeah, as I thought. He bought a Spider-Man NFT. You had to. Marvel never gave. No, he's trapped. These guys are trapped to the YouTube algorithm. They have to make cookie cutter BS. They can't say what they really feel. And it's going to become more and more apparent that they're fake. I've been saying this for a while. Being down from YouTube gave me a lot of time to think that I shouldn't take this shit serious at all, and nor should you. If you like my videos, watch them. I don't expect anything to come of this. It is what it is. YouTube has turned. Think about, listen, guys, remember 10 years ago on YouTube when it was the Wild West and it was fun? Steven Crowder could come on YouTube. He could say whatever ridiculous things. I'm actually a fan of Steven Crowder. I don't agree with him on everything, but I agree with him on quite a bit. He'd come on here. Alex Jones was on YouTube sprouting about fifth dimensional inner vampiric child molesters. Remember that? fun? Look at what it's become. Honestly, is it fun to anybody anymore? Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. It's become the same sanitized corporate BS that is all over network TV. Like, okay. So when I was, I got a message one day. When somebody said to me, they go, "Hey man, you give really good advice on the stock market. Maybe if you put on a suit and tie, people would take you more serious." I just responded with the dude, I think the problem with YouTube is that you're taking YouTubers' financial advice serious. Like, I mean, let's get down to brass tacks on this. Is one of the most frustrating things about YouTube to me. What makes you go, I view what I do as financial entertainment, nothing more. I think you should take my advice. I think you should listen to me. I think you should be primarily an index fund investor and then just have fun with 5 to 10% of your money in individual stocks. Why? Because it's fun and there's good potential there. And there's relatively a small amount of downside risk if you're doing it properly to add this stuff to your portfolio, and a large amount of upside. That's my personal philosophy. I think you should only listen to boglehead or bogleite investors to get around the copyright on this. That's what I think you should do. Now, you might not agree with me, and that's fine. And you want to be an individual stock picker. If I help you identify a stock that seems to be undervalued and you make a ton of money on it, great. But go behind me and check my work. I refuse to be one of those guys that comes out in here and is just going to tell you to buy this stock. I'll share you my thoughts and opinions, just like I did with CVS. I think there's money to be made with CVS looking at. I think you could do a lot worse than buying it right here at $75 or within 1.5 times shareholder equity. Again, go do your own due diligence, and be careful of what you're using, because if it's still up, there's signs in here. But if you just come over here and you go, Silicon Valley Bank, what signs would you be looking for, Jay Nagy? Right here. Enormous red flag. What is that? I need to know why you did that. Why did your debt jump up 6 times in 1 year? For me, I don't care. I'm done. I don't even consider you. Too much work. There's 10,000 stocks in the world. Okay, great. I hope to give good financial advice on here. But again, I don't view what I do as anything more than financial entertainment, and I don't want you to view it as. I want to make you laugh and like finance. That's what I want to do. These guys are different, man. These guys are different. They're trapped now. He has to do this. He is so in debt that the stress is catching up to him.
They were asking if they could retire. Now, that person, of course, is probably not watching my YouTube video.
Look at him.
If they were, here.
Look at how much this dude has aged in the past year and a half. He's getting filler. It's either filler or the booze. Just looking stressed out there. Andre, if you somehow stumble across my channel, I want you to know that it was always going to turn out this way and that I knew you were fake from the beginning. I even talked about how your portfolio was a lie. And it's funny how much crap me and Chris, Echoes, Fabio, Cole, it's funny how much crap we all had to take for calling out these guys. And I knew they were fake from the beginning. I'm not saying I'm Nostradamus or anything, but you know, it is what it is. I'm pretty gifted at reading fake people. And trust me, there's a lot more people that I think are fake that I just keep it to myself. I'm not going to elaborate any more on that, but they're out there. They're out there. I see them. I'm on to them. Just because I don't talk about them that much, just depends for me how much crap. He got stung by a bee. If he's got that much money, he could afford to take a couple days off. Let's see. Is he looking stressed and raccooned here?
Introducing stocks by the slice from Fidelity. Now you can trade stocks and ETFs for any amount you choose instead of buying by the share.
A major bank called Silvergate is now collapsed. What exactly is Silvergate Bank? And I've never heard of it.
He's looking bloated. He's looking bloated and raccoony here too. He's wearing makeup. He's wearing bronzer. Or you know what he might be doing? Those might be where his eye protectors are, where he's sitting out in the Las Vegas sun. It could be that too. You know, I'm pale as a ghost because I avoid the sun. That's why I'm 44 and I effectively, if I had hair, would probably look younger than Andre Geek. But I mean, it is what it is. These guys are trapped in clown town now. They can't do anything else. They have no skills. So they're going to keep grifting. And as this dries up, he's going to have to shift because it's going to become more and more apparent this dude doesn't know what he's talking about. You see somebody else. What is this guy's name? Took me a while to catch on to this dude. This dude's a grifter. Charges people money. I don't see any of his stock analysis in here that's worth being a member of his thing.
Hello, welcome to Rational Investing. My name is Cameron Stewart, CFA. I've been doing financial analysis and financial work for corporations for 20 years. I'm happy to show you how to read a balance sheet. So behind me is the balance sheet from the most recent annual report, the 10K.
My problem with this guy is not his opinion on stocks. My problem with any of these guys is if they're charging for him, if he was charging just to read a financial statement, I wouldn't say anything. Chris does that, but he charges for stock advice, and these guys should not be on here. And to be perfectly honest with you, this guy's advice is not that good either. Some of the numbers he comes up with, I just look at and I go, this is bizarre to me.
Welcome to Rational Investing. My name is Cameron Stewart, CFA. Thank you very much for watching the channel. All the comments, subscribers, I greatly appreciate it. This week, we're going to take here is, it's at 10% at the end of the period. But what that does do is it produces a very large number of $184 billion of annual EBITDA out a decade. This is 2030 time. And at that time, I'm going to play a 20 times market multiple to it. Why? A, growth is slowing. You go from 25 to 10. So you got a business that's maturing, does not need a huge multiple. Second, as we saw earlier,
a multiple of 20 is the outer edge of fair value, homie.
Market.
You should not be paying, if I had my little sheet, you should not be paying for 10% growth. You should not be paying 20 times.
Multiples come down over time. And if I say it's trash, and I agree with you, if you're trying to make EBITDA into cash flow, it's a garbage statistic.
Yeah.
$189 per share. Why? Because free cash flow should grow in line with EBITDA. They don't have much debt. So as EBITDA grows, free cash flow should grow commensurate. We're not buying back any other shares. So it's a pretty 1-to-1 ratio. When I get out this year, I'm going to give a 2.5% free cash flow yield to that. Look, when I put all that
Okay, just keep on walking down the street, and in my car is.
Put all that together and I look at it on an IRR basis, that's a 12% annualized IRR. So every year, that means every year, I'm expecting to make 12% on my money if I bought Amazon today at the price of $3,240 a share. Now that can move. If the price comes down or goes up, let me give you a distribution chart that over time, if you come back to this video, rewind it, say, hey, is it a buy now or later? What do you want to do? This will give you an idea. So as the price of Amazon falls, if for some reason the is very strong and they're having increased competition for people, I want to remind you that I've got a course.
Yeah, here it is. This is my problem with this guy.
Tell you how to pull out the particular pieces of it. I want to remind you that I've got a course, a Cash Flow Investing Pro. And what this is going to do is it's going to provide the template to you that I just went through. It's going to teach you how to read 10K, which you should be reading on all of your investments. It's going to tell you how to pull out the particular pieces of information you need to.
I don't know about you guys. Any of you guys need this guy to teach you how to read a 10K? I mean, as far as reading financial statements, you can literally go on to Amazon and buy a used book on how to read financial statements for $9. This is like, when I've been on here, I think I've been more than fair to a lot of people. I think I've been surprisingly fair to people like Joseph Carlson, who is consistently just overpaying for stocks, where I've said to people, I don't really want to go after people that aren't charging a lot of money. But I'm telling you, this guy right here, he's a wolf in sheep's clothing. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
It's then going to walk you through how to build a focused portfolio. A focused portfolio is a portfolio of about 20 stocks.
Yeah, let's look at this. Okay. Why Warren Buffett bought Charter Communications. Okay. CFO with 50. Something tells me that this guy's age, he doesn't have 15 years plus of professional finance experience. I could be wrong about that. Okay, so you became a chartered financial analyst, CFA designation in 2012. All right, so what was your experience before that? Because that would give you 11 years of experience. Goody Capital. I don't believe this guy. That's the problem. And there it is. So let me ask you a question. You're a chartered financial analyst. You have paid a lot of money, gone to school, gotten these stupid letters in front of your name that mean nothing in terms of your ability to invest. Chris and I have gone over this ad nauseum on our channels. The alphabets in front of these people's name mean jack and squat. And a lot of these guys with the alphabet in front of their name will have you in one place. You know where that is, down at the docks with a sailor behind you, stretching your pussy out while he's slapping you in the face and telling you to take it like a man, or telling you to take it like the good girl that you are. And that's where you're going to be, you know? So, I mean, let's go through it. All right. So for $400, what 3 hours of personal training videos? I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to require more than 3 hours to become a good investor. I'm sorry that, hey, yeah, Scott, hey, yeah, appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to lay it out to you. It's going to take you more than 3 hours to be a good investor unless you want to be a great investor. And I'll teach you exactly how to be better than 99% of all the YouTubers out there. Go pick an index fund, total world market, total US market, S&P 500, targeted date fund, mid cap fund, small cap, balanced fund. Pick one, make that your core holding, throw money at it, build your skills, and you will wind up with way more money in your retirement than you will listening to any of these clowns or buying their courses. I bet I could destroy this guy in a conversation. Am I going to do it? No, I'm getting bored of it. Because quite frankly, I'm just sick of these people. They're the worst human beings on the planet. They build up a fan base. People believe that they know what they're talking about, and then they exploit them. I will never have a course on my channel. I'm not doing it. Here's my course. I'll give it to you for free. Go to boglehead.org. There's my course. Read the little book that beats the market. Read The Intelligent Investor. Read One Up on Wall Street. Read anything by Joel Greenblatt, Howard Marks. I'm currently reading Mastering the Market Cycle. I have to get back into it. I started before my surgery and it kind of got dropped to the wayside. Read Howard Marks. Read any of the books by legendary investors. Praise Jack Bogle. Read his books so you understand why to be an index fund investor. This clown will not beat the market. I've looked at the numbers that he generates for his stocks. He is wrong. He says stupid crap. I will tell you why. Go through and listen. Just listen. If you're a fan of this dude, which you're probably not watching the video if you are, listen to what I say and then go watch other YouTubers and ask yourself, who makes more sense? Am I a jealous hater on YouTube, or do I just hate scumbags that grift their fans? That's what you got to ask yourself. That's all I'm doing. What I mean with these guys. Okay, he made you a blank financial model for $250. You don't need that. You have this. How did Dom? It just was I had a better run, dude. So, I mean, there you go. Look at this. 2000. Oh my God. I did not realize what level of degenerate scumbag this guy is. He is literally on Jeremy LeFeve's level of scumbag. Holy crap. Holy crap. I take back everything that I said I take back everything that I said prior to this video on this dude. $25,000 outsourced CFO, outsourced finance and accounting leadership. Bro, you can't even, if that's for some business, I really don't care about that. But what I do care about is this, $2,500 a month. You're charging people $30,000 a year. Holy shit. This dude is an epic. I got to make videos on him. I have to make videos on this dude now. I have no choice. What an epic level of scumbaggery this guy is. Looks like I'm going to lose a bunch of subs on this one too. Let's do some comments. Oh, Jesus. Sometimes I look at people and I am honestly one of those guys who wants to believe in the good in people. I see this dude coming on here and going, I mean, I don't agree with the numbers he comes up with, right? I don't agree with the numbers he comes up with. And then I don't really look into him that much to find his level of scumbaggery. And there it is. It's right staring in my face. I wanted to believe in the goodness of humanity. And instead, I find myself staring into the soulless black abyss that looks back at me. Oh my God. Epic level of scumbaggery by this dude. Holy shit. Jeremy LeFevre, Jeremy's stupid. The problem with this guy is not stupid, which makes him ultimately more evil than Jeremy LeFevre. This is getting brought if you're new to my channel, we're supposed to be doing the Ryu Rabble tomorrow on Christopher Bell's channel. So we should be over there. Oh my God. I'm going to do some comments. Might bitch about the speeding ticket I got today. A vegan niche market. All right. Yeah, no, I talked about this, but I do think if you're in the market for a little bit of a turnaround, I think it's selling cheap enough. Might not be the worst place to park some money, collect some dividends. Again, that's out of your 5% of your individual portfolio. Andre, we're going to make fun of some people more. That's what I feel like doing. I don't feel like bitching about my speeding ticket. I might bitch about that tomorrow night and how it's just another revenue generator for the state and how I hate when cops are fake nice to me. Like I'm not sitting there going, bro, you don't have to be nice to me. Look, I know you can legally kill me if I don't obey what you're doing. Just give me the goddamn ticket. Stop acting like you're my friend and drive the fuck off. I know I did something wrong. I was speeding, although it's bullshit because I was still driving safely. SVB is disrupting the woke ecosystem where you got your transgender fucking diversity, inclusion hire going. I can only imagine one of the meetings with me into it. I sit down and I go, okay, what do you got? What kind of risk do you guys see going forward? Because I'm looking at the treasuries you bought and the mortgage-backed securities, and I'm seeing that the Fed is entering a raising cycle. So we have some risk here. We need to unload these treasuries before everybody gets wind of it. So like when Jay Nagy and the Ryu Rabble were warning you that inflation is not transitory and the Fed would have to raise rates back in, I don't know, July and September of 2021 would have been a good time to offload those securities. And then I'd be sitting there looking at some dude in a wig with like some smeared lipstick off to the side because he just forcefully blew some other dude in the bathroom. And he'd be going, okay, so where we are on the systemic risk to the bank is we hired the first transgendered, four-feathered leprechaun, unicorn, special pony with a rainbow twist. And I would be sitting there and probably commit suicide. And that would be the end of my life. Because I would be wondering how I got stuck in a room with people this dumb. You're like, yeah, dude, the life is getting sucked out of Jeremy, out of Andre G. Andre G is transitioning the they, them of finance. Yeah, right? Even as trash. I don't even, to be honest with you, I don't even, there was a time when I was going to learn it because I always did cash flows. And then I thought about cash flows and I was like, cash flows are stupid. In college, I did them on my channel for a while, but it's like, why am I doing this? This is stupid. Can't predict the future. Got a dip. Thanks, bro. Thanks for all your videos. Thanks for subscribing, man. I'm always grateful for a new sub. Would be really great if you did a reaction video for Honest Stock. I'll do one. Yeah, Chris B. Dude, there's a lot of stuff I have to do. I was down from surgery for the past month, so I'm starting a new job, so I had a lot of stuff to do. So I'm only just getting back to posting. Balance advice, appreciate it. Thanks for including the ladies. Of course. 1 second. I got to run and take a piss because I'm drinking. If you guys tune out, completely understand. There is always way better content out there than anything on YouTube. You know, like your partner, wife, girlfriend, if you're a dude, whatever dude you're dating, if you're trans or what, I'm not judging. There's always better entertainment. Take a break from YouTube every now and again. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Yeah, well, they're doing their job. It's just the annoying thing is, here's the annoying thing, man. I hate when people are fake nice. Like, I think this cop was actually legitimately probably a nice guy, but I'm sitting there going, it's like, unfortunately, I had to give you the speeding ticket. And I'm like, no, you didn't. It's officer discretion. Do you think I don't know that? Why are you trying? I didn't argue with you one bit. I didn't get mad at you. I'm one of those, look, if I get caught robbing a bank, I'm not going to confess and I'm going to make you go through the legal system. But if I robbed a bank, am I mad at the cop for getting arrested? No, cop's just doing his job. I have a very mafioso view of the cops. Get me the right way on anything and I'll just go, well, I deserve to be punished. But, you know, it's like, dude, I had to give you this ticket. No, you didn't. This whole thing was a speed trap. Do you think I'm not aware and I don't see the 96 other cops around here? You guys know that people tend to speed over this bridge. I wasn't paying attention because I was in a rush to talk to my old boss at my job that I was stopping in at. Didn't pay attention. You caught me. Fuck off. Just give me the ticket. Stop being nice. You know, look, it is what it is. At a camera speeding him. Cameras, in my view, speeding cameras shouldn't even exist. Speeding tickets in general are a gross incentive for the state to just generate revenue. Look, personally, I think there should be a posted speed limit. I think there should be the possibility of a speeding ticket, but really what I think it should be is reckless driving. You know, look, you're telling me I'm going 45. This is a 45. I'm telling you, I can drive 60 in that and still be safe. I'm telling you, my vehicle is completely under control. I never drive recklessly. I don't drive in a way that makes me feel unsafe. You might think I'm driving too fast, but I have that vehicle under control. So, you know, I just think, you know, there's just way too many gross incentives by the state to just generate revenue in these disgusting ways. Here's one. Seatbelt tickets. Fuck off. This is America. If you don't want to wear a seatbelt, that's your problem. I don't care. That should not be a crime. That should not be a reason for you to get pulled over. If you're so dumb that you want to ride a motorcycle without a helmet on and, get into an auto accident and die, hey, that's just Darwinian evolution there. I don't have a problem. And in a free society, you should have that right. Yeah. Real. Yeah, no, I got you, brother. Let me know when you got a pen. Make a comment down there when you're ready to write, and I'll start talking. All right, here we go. I'm going to start naming those. I'm going to start naming the site right here, brother. This is where you want to be. This is a great place for advice. I mean, you just got to look through here. Jack Bogle is the founder of Vanguard. Okay. And so Jack Bogle, he started managing the Wellington Fund, it's a great fund. It's been around since 1928 or 1929. It's a balanced fund made up of stocks and bonds. It's actually a fund I recommend to people. If you're a little bit more risk averse, the Wellington Fund from Vanguard, it's not going to do you wrong. So I recommend you have to just decide what you want to do. I recommend people go here. Jack Bogle's the father of index investing. And personally, I think he's the most important person in the 20th century in terms of investing. Okay. He's why try to beat the market when you can just match the market? So go there. And then the first book I recommend everybody read, and it's one of my favorite books. I think I'm going to go back and reread it. It's called The Little Book That Beats the Market by Joel Greenblatt. It's one of the greatest investors that's ever existed. I forget what his fund is. Read that book. After that, I recommend that you read The Intelligent Investor by Ben Graham. Ben Graham was Warren Buffett's mentor. He taught him at Columbia or New York, whichever his university was. And I honestly, I think The Intelligent Investor is also one of the greatest books ever written on investing. And Ben Graham had a similar compounded annual return as Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett does it in a little bit different way. I think Ben Graham's techniques still work today. And that's where I get that's where basically a lot of my ideas on stocks come from. Anything by Peter Lynch, One Up on Wall Street's a great book. I'm reading Mastering the Market Cycle by Howard Marks. There's so many, John Templeton, if he's got books, so many great investors out there that you can just learn from. Why would you learn from these clowns on YouTube? I mean, literally, let me point this out. For even one of these courses where you go, $400 to learn to invest, that's a great deal. To understand the sheer volume of information you could get off Amazon in the form of used books for $400. I mean, you can get a PhD in investing in used books from Amazon for $400. So that's what I recommend people do. I haven't been on boglehead.org in a while. I used to play around a lot on this site, but a lot of them, and the thing is, stick with the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. It's going 39 LOL. And like, what was the speed limit? 30? Yeah, dude. I mean, you're up north. You got to understand. Texas is awesome. Ohio is really not a bad place either, but I love Texas. Like, Austin, a little bit too liberal for me. was there back in September. I loved Austin. The only other experience I have with Texas is being stationed there in the Air Force. But the main thing I love about Texas is Texans. Texans are great people, man. I fucking love them. Yeah, you got to Cali and everyone's driving crazy doing 90. Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Yeah, I know. No, I know that's how they got him. Yep. No, dude, it's 100%. That should have been hammered home to everybody during the pandemic, right? They're like, oh, get the COVID vaccine. It's going to keep you safe. Me, I don't want to put an untested shot into my body. You just don't understand science. No, I do. That's why, I understand science. That's why I don't want to put an untested shot in my body, and why I'm just not taking the government bureaucrats' word for it. Because I actually understand science, and it takes a long time for you to actually test the model before you start to develop an understanding of the natural phenomenon in which you're studying, before you can get the model to the point of currently accepted level of knowledge by its peers. Oh, no, you're stupid. If you don't take it, we're just going to force you by gunpoint now, because it's not about corporate profits at all. It's about your safety. So if you don't take our safety shot, we're just going to kill you. 25. Yeah, grew up in Ohio, then moved to Texas. Yeah, I'm Western New York boy in Florida right now. Bye with Bertle. Yep. That's wild. So sad to think about how many people just pay these courses, 400s on the low end. Who's FE? Oh, financial education. My bad, dude. Sorry, I've had a few beers. Well, bro, that's not even the worst part of it. He deleted it, but I've actually done phone calls with him. He was charging, I didn't get this one recorded. Take it with a grain of salt. You don't believe me? You don't believe me. But they tried to get me $20,000. They quoted me $20,000 to join his stock club. And I mean, look, man, on the whole Cameron Stewart thing, cash flow. I mean, this guy's charging even more than Jeremy Lefebvre. This dude is a scumbag of such epic proportions. It blows my mind. Dude, think about it like this. I mean, this is why I don't like financial advisors either. Will I get a monthly Zoom meeting with this clown? I'm going to make a video. I'm going to tear into this dude because, I mean, it has to be done. I actually just glossed over him, and I didn't realize the level of his scumbaggery. I mean, you guys don't know the level of So I want you guys to imagine how much you can go watch my video on this guy and see the monumental amount of heat I took for pointing out this guy. Okay, so here's one of the investments this guy pushes on his channel. And again, I have consistently only gone after people who charge money. I'll give you a huge example of this. Diamond Hands Investing. She was out there pushing Tattooed Chef and the same garbage that Jeremy Lefebvre was. Did I go after her? No, because I don't believe at the time she had anything bigger than a Patreon. And I look at it like this. You want to pay some stupid YouTuber 10 or $3 a month for their stupid Patreon. I'm not going to start one. Personally, I can be hit or miss on that one as long as it's like reasonable. But again, with the Patreon, it's your money. I can go after her. I got so much heat for calling out this dude, saying you shouldn't pay this dude. This is what this dude is shilling. I got called out, basically called an asshole for calling this moron out. Here's what I recommend on my channel. Sorry, it's not glamorous. Never is. I mean, this is where I've come to with YouTube. I'm just going to go out there and go, okay, follow these guys' advice. You're just going to lose money. I don't care. I'm not making any money off this. I have to try to remonetize my channel. And even then, I'm not going to do any courses or charge people money. I do this to entertain people. If you find entertainment and hopefully help you to get you to the promised land. But yeah, I took monumental amount of heat, but here's the thing. Here's why this guy's fans are so stupid. I got like 2,000 views on it and 8 subs because I would just go in and argue with them. And every time they make a comment, it boosts it up in the algorithm. So I'm just sitting there laughing, saying ridiculous crap back to them. I'm like, a lot of those guys, when I was arguing with them, I don't even believe half the crap I'm saying to them. I'm just doing it to shine them on, to keep them engaged. Bro, I've called out Meet Kevin so many times. You can go back to one of the first videos I did in like March of 2021, where I called out Meet Kevin's portfolio. I did it really quickly, but I went through and I said the vast majority of these stocks are going to implode. I got nothing but hate. You're stupid. You're just trying to do this the wrong way on YouTube. You know, that's not fair. You can't be calling people out in this way. And it's like, I've gone back to actually some of them that have commented and gone, hey man, do you still wish you didn't watch my video? Because everything that I've said, if you go back, you watch my channels, I'm not bragging when I say this. Christopher Bell, who used to be Strongman Personal Finance, Fabio from Capital Mindset, Cole, all of these guys, virtually everything that we have said would happen would happen. We've made some mistakes along the way. And even I'll give credit where I don't want to give credit. Even everything money, where I think Paul is a scumbag. Now, took me a while to tune into it. Fabio was on it before I was. I think Paul Gabriel, and if you watch my videos, I think you and that shaved gorilla, Mo, I think you're two of the stupidest people on YouTube. Honestly, I think you're both fake as hell, especially for kicking Seth off. And I can't wait till that non-disclosure agreement is over so Seth can come on YouTube and vaporize their fake asses. But even they said a lot of things that were going to come true. You know, called out Tom Nash on Palantir. Here's the next one that's going to come true. Tesla. It's taken longer than I thought it would. It's like I said, 2030, Tesla is more likely than not going to be trading for more than it is now. What the stock does, stocks can stay irrational for a long time or forever. But the return you're going to get out of it A lot of what I've said has already actually come true. I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying, like, these guys were making money off of not knowing what they're talking about, and they were reckless in the way that they spoke. Even then, you have your freedom of speech, but it is and always will come down to charging people money for your shit advice. There's a George P. Burdell. But yeah, I called out Meet Kevin a long time ago. And I mean, the stress is getting to all of these guys from being grifters. Like, okay, I'm going to ask you to do a thought experiment here. Imagine you're Jeremy Lefebvre. This is what I don't get about this dude. You know how long this guy has been? Jeremy, you don't make money. I don't know how many times we have to go through this. You don't make money. You've never made money. Okay. Financial education here. His views are collapsing. He used to get over 100,000 views, I believe. If we go back, let's go back a while. Problem is, he's probably deleted a lot of this. And also, if you're new here, he knows who I am. He knows who all of us in the Ryu rabble are. And the fact is, we've actually tried to teach him stuff over the years, and he's too stupid to process it. I'm sure this dude is still making a grip, but if you look, I don't know how far back we're going to go. But if you look, I'm sure his views are dropping off. So imagine being this dude. How he got big. He got big on YouTube. He got big on YouTube in a time where it was easy to get big on YouTube. So if you don't know, I go through this all the time. Here's what happened to YouTube. You're going to say it's conspiracy theory. I'm going to tell you it's not. This is how it happened. Legacy media took notice about 2015 how all of these people, Steven Crowder, it's called the YouTube ad Vox apocalypse. Legacy media came to YouTube and they said, you can't have a guy in his boxers eating Cheetos, giving his opinion on the news, even though it is probably more well-informed than the corporate White House talking memos that are disseminated through the zeitgeist via CNN, Vox, whatever other shit legacy media that you want to go with. Couldn't have that. So YouTube, in its benevolent ambitions, for lack of a better term, or nefarious ambitions, wanted to merge with legacy media, because what legacy media is and always will be is a tool of propaganda from the government. That's why they went after Alex Jones. You have to wonder why a guy just spouting conspiracy theories in his basement, the government and everybody went after him so hard. It's because he was right too many times. He was right about the fact that they were spying and harvesting your metadata. He was right about Jeffrey Epstein. The elites don't want to be called out for the kid that they are. So YouTube starts to crack down on the average YouTuber. A guy I used to watch on YouTube, it was about 2016. I really liked what this guy did. He made shorts about creepy stuff. I think his name was Rob Dyke. I liked his videos. He would talk about like a serial killer or a mysterious vanishing. There was also Zombie Go Boom. on YouTube. I liked their videos because I just thought it was entertaining, where they're like, hey, let's test this weapon on a zombie. It was really a stand-in for what are these ancient hand-to-hand combat weapons? What would they do to a human being? They made excellent videos. They were fun, entertaining. They got cracked down on because they were violent. YouTube destroyed that content. Okay. All of this is in an effort to destroy the small creator. You have to understand that. The finance area was just one of the last spots they cracked down on. So Jeremy got big in the last of the era. It was really Andre Geek. And YouTube ultimately understands that if somebody knows how to jack the YouTube algorithm correctly, they will make it through all the fog. But the vast majority of people will get eliminated before they ever get big enough. That's why YouTube is going through and demonetizing a lot of people. It's because they don't want average people making videos. This is who they want making videos. Let me just think for a second. This is a bad example, right? So I'm actually a fan of Russell Brand's videos. Don't think that I'm crapping on him. I like what he does. He is fast becoming an excellent reporter. What they want is celebrities making videos. They don't want you watching the average person. They want the top closed off. They want a glass ceiling. And what they're trying to do is discourage. There's a guy named Jameson Travels. He's a retired Marine. He makes military videos. I enjoy his videos. They demonetized him. Financial YouTube, it's coming. They don't want what they want is you to watch Jim Cramer. Why? Because Fox or CNBC will pay YouTube money. They have to pay you. And also, it's a new censorship regime. Does things go in cycles? George Carlin got arrested in 1969 or 1971, I forget what year, for some of his act. Censorship is coming back because the government, there's just too much access to information and it's everywhere. So that's what YouTube is doing. Andre Geek snuck through the cracks. Graham Stephan started in 2015 or 2016 when it was possible to go viral. Then, because there was so much money in the YouTube financial space, more and more morons came into it. Then we entered into a bull market. That bull market made everybody look like a genius because you could just literally take a chimpanzee, put a dart in its hand, tell it to throw it at the wall, that stock would have went up. The people who know something about investing were telling you, this is a bad idea. As soon as the Fed raises interest rates, there's nothing holding it up. Microsoft will only collapse to a certain level. Personally, I think Microsoft collapses. I don't think it drops below basically fair value of about 15 times cash flow. I think in a truly, truly irrationally hopeless market, Microsoft could drop to somewhere around 12 times cash flow. But much below that, it's not going to drop because the company is just too good. So Tattooed Chef takes off. All of these guys look like geniuses. Who did they trick? Teenagers with stimulus money. Old people with stimulus money. All of the people telling you there's a process to this. This is temporary and it doesn't last. We were all cast aside because everybody wants easy money. But the problem is there's no path back to redemption. You got to love doing this now at this point. Even if you look at some of the bigger YouTubers that I run with, Echoes from Above, Chris, even their views are slowing down because it's what YouTube wants. Personally, I think this is temporary. I think Rumble is going to emerge at a certain point, and there's going to be competition in the space. But right now, I'm not saying this because I think that people should watch my videos. I'll make this joke. I think that if I started back in 2015, I would have at least 3,000 subs by this point. That's the point. It's way harder now because the elites, YouTube, they just don't want you here. Let's do some comments. Right. Because he's an elite. You have to understand what ultimately all elites want. All right. We'll get into that. To that island, but he's still on TV. Yeah. We all know that. Until you have irrefutable proof, right? Nothing's going to happen to him. It's disgusting and incredible that people still listen to him. Right. Okay. So all of this plays into crap I talk about. Why is Alex Jones on the hook for 1 point whatever billion dollars? I'll be careful with this because honestly, I think YouTube might nuke my channel for saying it. But I'll say it because I have a small channel. Let me think of a different way to say this. I'm not talking about Alex Jones. 100%. Not Alex Jones. Alex Jones deserves everything that's coming to him. Okay. Somebody does a bad act. Another guy says it's a crisis actor. How is the guy who said an event didn't happen on the hook for billions of dollars? How does that happen? How do they win that lawsuit? It's because the elites don't like Alex Jones. They need to destroy him. Legacy media needs to destroy him. Why? Why do they need to destroy him? Because that person that talks about black helicopters was on Rogan. I'll say it. Everybody knows on my channel, I'm a fan of his podcast. I've become a little bit less of a fan of his podcast because of the way he abandoned his friend. I think you ride or die with your homies unless they do something so profoundly stupid that it's illegal and you have to denounce them. He didn't do that. And what did Rogan do? Rogan turned his back on him. He's had him on a few times. He went to Rogan asking Rogan for a favor. And Rogan shot him down. Now, Rogan can do whatever he wants with his podcast. I understand, he's got a thing that he has to maintain. But here's where you lose a lot of confidence in me. It's because the individual in question with the incident in question shouldn't have said what they said, but it's a mistake. Everybody makes a mistake. I don't think that people's lives should be destroyed because they said something stupid. But Rogan kind of turned his back on him. A little bit, didn't he? He could have had him on his podcast and just said, listen, man, you shouldn't have said that. That was the stupidest thing in the world. I need to get that on record. That was BS. That event happened. You hurt the families. But that still doesn't mean he owes the families 1 point whatever trillion dollars that he owes them. There is way too much fakery that goes on in the entertainment business, and it's spread to YouTube. YouTube at one point was filled with regular people making regular content. The elites can't have that because then the plebes start thinking for themselves. They need you slaving away on the machines. That's why they don't teach you how to invest. Did anybody teach you how to invest in high school? They didn't teach me. Did anybody teach you that inflation is a tax? Were you ever taught that? Serious question. When did you learn about inflation? Because all I ever heard were a bunch of people bragging about how they got stimmy checks from the government. And then I was the naysayer that told everybody they'd be paying that stimulus check back. And then everybody told me, no, you don't have to pay your stimulus check back. I go, oh, you don't know? It's called inflation. That's how the government gets you. They promise you crap, and they tell you they're going to give it to you for free, but they don't give it to you for free. They tax you in an unknown way called inflation. The Fed, if you don't know what it did, basically it created the wealth effect after the financial crisis. The elite, the ruling class, didn't want to pay their bills. We're told all the time about how brilliant all these people are. Bill Ackman, he's a hedge fund manager. Is he a good investor? I don't know. He bought Netflix when it was $700 and something. I could have told him that wasn't a good deal. Every time there's a financial crisis engineered by the Fed, Bill Ackman thinks the Fed should then take taxpayer money to bail out the ruling class. Oh, they need to backstop SVB. Do they? Here's my personal opinion on it. Fuck them. Let the whole thing collapse. It's not the average person that suffers. Oh, but the average person isn't going to pay for the bailout of Silicon Valley Bank. You're not? You sure about that? You sure you're not going to pay for the ruling class's mistake and arrogance through increased banking fees? They're so brilliant, so much better than you and I. They're so fabulous, in fact, we should all pay for these rent-seeking clowns. It is what it is. They don't want you to pull back the curtain on Oz. They don't want you to understand investing. They don't want you to understand economics, because if you did, you would wake up and realize how bad you're getting fleeced, and you would go to the government and ask for a new deal. That's what you would do. You would go to them if you actually understood basic accounting, basic finance, basic economics, and you'd look at them and go, I don't think I'm getting a good deal here. What do you mean? Well, let's go back. Let's go back even before the great financial crisis, and let's see how that played out. And we'll go back even to the tech bubble and see how that plays out. Reckless monetary policy issued by Alan Greenspan after the tech bubble collapse. This reckless monetary policy with artificially low interest rates that was not dictated by the market. The market should dictate interest rates. You do not deserve a loan to finance your dream of buying a house. If you don't have the collateral for it, it is not anybody else's responsibility to give you your dream. I'm sorry. It's just not. Fed keeps interest rates low. Where does that money go? Always needs to find a yield. Stock market gets inflated. Mortgage-backed security. We'll just loan people money. It's backed by the government. Who cares? We'll put it in variable rate mortgages. We'll give you a 1% mortgage, but shit might happen. It might tick up to 7%. Oh, you work at McDonald's. That's good enough. Here's a $5 million house. Now let's take that. Let's cut it up. Let's break up these loans and turn it into complete bullshit that we fabricated out of the air and call them mortgage-backed securities. Now let's bet on them because we're gambling now. We're not even playing poker anymore. We're straight gambling. Let's throw it all on red. So we throw it all on red. Fed realizes it made a mistake because the Fed is run by morons. I'm actually saying that. I'm actively telling you, the Fed is run by morons. There's no other way around it. I mean, you have a crew of 5 simple people. Strongman Personal Finance, Jay Nagy, Invest with Cole, Capital Mindset with Fabio, Echoes from Above. We are telling you in August, September of 2021 that inflation is not transitory. Kathy Wood says it's transitory. The Fed says it's transitory. Why do these people not understand it? Because they're disconnected elites. So we gamble. The entire financial system across the globe collapses. If they don't inject money into the system, everything is fucked. So what do? They rob from the poor in the middle class. They take your money and bail out the elites for their bad decisions. They spend 14 years injecting your money into the economy. You don't notice because they say that the Fed has a new stated goal of 2% inflation. Why do you have 2% inflation? Because inflation benefits the rent-seeking class. They don't want to work. They're rent-seeking ruling elites. I'm actually watching my subs drop, my viewers drop as I do this, but spend 14 years doing that. They pour stimulus checks, then Biden, does this environment. Inflation takes off. And then they tell you that inflation isn't there. And that's how we get into the situation that we're into. Every single time the Fed does this. And people don't understand because they don't study the history of the stock market. So they're going to have to overcompensate now. Because if they don't get inflation under control, it will destroy the currency. Personally, I think they're going to settle for 3 to 4% inflation. But it is what it is. All right, guys. I'm going to call it at this. I want to tell you guys, I need to remove that. I want to tell you guys, if you stayed for 1 minute or the whole time, I appreciate it. I know your time is valuable. Thank you for letting me entertain you. And if you're new here and you thought this gave you any value, consider liking and subscribing. It was fun on this St. Patty's Day to get a little bit buzzed with you guys, but I got to take off and hit the old hay. So thanks for watching. I'll be back with a live stream tomorrow night. Don't know what I'm going to talk about. Nah, bro, just go back and watch it, brother. Hey, I'm going to email you tomorrow so we can restart up the Sunday pod because I'm back in it. Thanks so much, bro. I really appreciate all the advice. Thanks, brother. Yeah, it was a fun little St. Patty's Day. Thanks for letting me rant, guys. Anyways, much love. Avoid the sharks. Cameron Stewart hate is going to be inbound possibly tomorrow night. I don't know. But have a great night, and I'm out.